My two previous projects were mostly based on electrical engineering, but this time I decided to change some things up, so I made an air cannon. Now, unlike most air cannons I've seen, this one is not only limited to one projectile size, because as long as I have the right barrel, I can shoot anything I want. Now, this whole project started when I was playing around with some PVC pipes, and I realized just how powerful air can be. So, I made a bunch of designs, but eventually settled on this one, the barrel sealing piston valve, and in case you don't know what that is, I'll just quickly explain it. The inside construction is very simple. There is a barrel, a piston, an air tank, and a place behind the piston where all the electronics go. When I want to fire, I first have to fill the whole thing up with air. The backside fills up very quickly, while the piston and air tank fill up slightly slower because of the small holes in the piston. Now when I want to fire, I first have to cut out the air supply, which in my case is a floor pump, and open up the valve. The air from the backside rushes out, while most of the air in the piston and air tank stay inside. Now, because of the changes in pressure, the piston moves back, breaking the seal, letting all the air from the air tank hit the ball. Now the ball goes flying, hopefully as fast as we want it to go. Now that all of that is out of the way, I built the cannon and immediately started testing. Okay, so test number 1 of the tennis ball launcher. I will first try to pressurize it to only 10 psi and see if it all works. Okay, so that is a complete fail because, as you can see, the pressure isn't going up whatsoever, so I think there is some sort of leak. I will have to check that out. So, I actually had a couple of problems. The first one being, out of this part, air leaked out here, here, and here. Now, this was a very easy fix using some Teflon tape, but we had other problems that were not that easy to fix. As an example, this. This PVC pipe only goes up to here because the coupling is specially made so that PVC pipes don't go further than this point. Now, the problem is, when this piston that is fitted with this PVC pipe moves all the way back here, there's nothing to make it airtight. So when we tried to pump in air, the air just went past the piston and out of the tennis ball launcher. So to fix this, I will have to sand this down the middle and get a longer piece of PVC pipe. I hope that will work. I'll have to come back to this later. It didn't work. Turns out that wasn't my only problem. The biggest challenge was the fact that the piston was way smaller than the PVC pipe. So even when I put on the O-ring, it just wasn't airtight. So I had to scrap the whole thing and rebuild it so that the piston was a better fit. So here it is. After months of work, the air cannon. I had to rebuild this whole thing because of the piston problem I told you about, and I took the chance to change the valve. Now all I have to do to fire is pump it up a bit, put on my goggles, and just release the valve. So now let's go outside and shoot some things. Because I was doing this at a public park, I was limited to shooting ping pong balls and slightly modified Nerf darts at 50 psi, and just to remind you, that's only a quarter of its power. After doing a few tests to make sure it wasn't too dangerous, I switched to Nerf darts. And they worked perfectly. And this is it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please consider subscribing.